is no doubt in my mind this game and this series is likely going to go the distance. I cannot wait to see what these two teams do in a full series here, as Liquid are bringing the heat early in game number 1 in this series with an unconventional Naga pick they are not used to playing. It'll be pushed to Zai for some extra tempo in the TA and Lesh. And once more, like our analyst said, are they just going to win 3 lanes and run away with it? It is something we saw happen in that game 1 series in the upper bracket final versus Team Spirit that caught them off guard. That triple lane one was deadly in that game 1. It's not going to put them away, though. And if there's anything about Team Spirit at this point that we have to understand, it is that this team is incredibly comfortable playing from behind.
And I think that's something that Team Liquid is trying to address, is the full series win, right? You could get a game win, 1 win off of, you know, a laning phase lead, what have you, but they do need to be able to address this opener, and they found it with the Naga Siren, where many teams would go for comfort. In fact, we talk about comfort a lot when it comes to the analysts. What is comfortable for these players and their player-hero combinations? It seems like Courage is going to be the choice for Team Liquid in this game 1. Courage to pick up the Naga Siren, a hero that none of these players have played in literal years. In fact, the latest person to play it, and the person who has played it the most, is indeed Zai, because, well, he used to rock it all the time, all the way back on Team Secret. But it's not particularly inspiring, with going all the way back to 2018, in fact. A paltry 33 games.
Well, Zai has played everything at this point. I agree with Blitz. If you're going to trust somebody to play an unconventional hero period, it's got to be Zai. We'll see if he can make it work in the team fights. A lot of interesting dynamics in this game. The lane shove between the IO, Lesh, and the Naga, pushing in the threat against Team Spirit. You need to be able to control the map between the Timbersaw and the Puck to buy time for your Faceless Void to get into those later game fights where you maybe have Refresher, you have double BKB, and then maybe you don't care about Song. Maybe you don't care about the Leshrac magic damage that is coming out here. This is also a very interesting game because we might have one of the only games I can remember in a long time with a non-distinct aura buyer. These are just like 6 cores who kind of want to all build damage and scale. You know, you can itemize for auras on Timber and Naga, but I feel like we're not going to see it this game. It's just going to be guns blazing here. It's going to just fall to the supports to build the utility. And a quick first blood for iNSaNiA, as this IO has worked well for Liquid the entire tournament, and it will continue to do so here. That is a kill that you do not expect either way if you're Team Spirit to the level 2 IO.
No, certainly not. And that's going to feel pretty bad for Collapse, because the last thing he wants is a safe lane magic damage dealer to be amped up even more. He is already going to have to contest with some heavy physical damage burst off of Nisha. So if he ever doesn't have those reactive chargers, he could be in trouble. But if this Leshrac really starts getting away with the game, and he may find that his frontlining isn't going to be as potent as he would hope for.
I mean, you do have some cushion here with that Ancient Apparition pick. That's a last pick Ancient Apparition designed to shut down the aggressive potential from the IO Lesh. But like the panel talked about, the downside here is it's not helping you with the Naga on the map, and it's not doing anything into this Templar Assassin. If I have to pick one threat that Team Spirit need to think about, it's probably Nisha on this TA. It has been a hero that is extremely dominant for him the entire tournament. I don't think he's lost a single lane with it whenever Liquid has gone to it. It's a hero he's personally very confident with. And right now we're looking at a Nisha who is up there at his peak potential, as he is the KDA leader of the tournament right now.
Oh, nice use of the cookies. Boxi, he's going to surround Miposhka with the help of the illusion. Miposhka's going to turn around, do what damage he can. It's going to be close call. Boxi gets stunned up, and they do manage to get the kill on Boxi first. Miposhka will be granted the experience for that one. Zai, in turn, will claim the solo.
I mean, not too bad for Zai. He's going to get a level 4 off this. You're happy to get the XP on your Ancient Apparition as well. This is a support duo from Team Spirit that's a little unconventional for them. We're talking about the Naga for Liquid. At the same time, you're pushing a 4 Enchantress, which is normally a hero that you just automatically assume is going to be Miposhka. Yeah. That's another reason this AA pick really needs to pan out here. And so far, Mira is not having a fun time in this early game. He gets pummeled again. He's just gone. He can't even believe that he died there. The amount of early damage coming out of this level 2 Lightning Storm is significant with the buffs. Cannot underestimate it with a little bit of extra spell lane from the IO.
Yeah, 140 damage since 733D, so it got a 20 damage buff, and that probably is what made the difference there.
He's still looking for the level 3 on the enchant. I mean, ideally you want to give a lot of soul XP to Collapse here so he's as strong as possible going into that mid game, burst all this burst damage, and you maybe get some roam action to mid or the jungles. You get some wards up, you can contest stacks from the TA or Naga later. Right now, this early game is not going how Mira wants it to. 2 deaths on the board. Does get that level 3. As as they look to rebound in the laning phase. This is something we are used to seeing from Spirit, however. Can't really stress that enough, right? They go into these drafts, they go into these games understanding in some of them they're going to be behind. That's also why I go back to that upper bracket final in that game 3 where they switched the tempo up so much and just decimated Liquid in that laning phase. They are capable of doing that. It just seems to be something that they can turn on or off. That's not a bad skill to have as long as you can turn it back on.
Quick check up here on this mid lane. We can see Larl's going to be heading back to base. A big lead in the Nisha versus Larl matchup, but maybe it's less about the players. After all, it's a TA versus Puck matchup, an old school counter that Nisha is taking full advantage of. 30 and 13 compared to 17 and 6. He's supposed to be ahead. I don't know if you're supposed to be that far ahead, but it is a bad matchup for Puck.
It's a free matchup for I mean, this goes back to Ferrari TA days, right?
Yeah.
It's been winning since 10 years ago, and it's not going to stop now.
I tether up to the high ground as they both went through the portal here. Boxi and Miposhka, now they're going to be met by Collapse. Might be able to burst down iNSaNiA. Timberchain doesn't quite land, but they might just be able to get that final hit in. Oh, it's not enough. What did he live on? Now an impetus. That'll finish him off. Mira is going to be in an awkward position, though, and miCKe does have enough mana to be able to take advantage of this one. They will trade off supports, but maybe they're going to get a 2-for-1 special because Collapse will get him with the Timberchain. miCKe's looking to even the odds now to chase down Miposhka, and he's going to have the IO joining him soon.
The creep block.
Oh, the creep block! It's not quite enough. Miposhka was just huddled away in the corner. Collapse. He's fighting now against miCKe 1v1, but not for long. iNSaNiA's going to join in, start healing up miCKe, and he will probably be perfectly fine here. Dodges the Timberchain. In fact, they may even chase after Collapse. Nice drop. Item drop to be able to get the maximum amount of HP out of the one, which was actually needed there. He stays alive of just 90 HP.
What a crazy item drop there from Collapse. I mean, you have a chance of getting stunned there. I think he really would have wished he had a whirling death point there, being stuck in all those trees. That is such a high-level nuke this early in the game when you get 6 or 7 trees into it. Double chain, triple chain, in fact, just to get as much damage.
Oh, he dropped a branch to try and block away the vision of himself. Meanwhile, Yatoro dies at bottom lane. Oh, this is definitely a bit of deja vu now because Liquid is running away with the laning phase, Avery.
There's just no way to skew these lanes this early. It's just a draft situation that Team Spirit have put themselves in. They are used to it, but this is going to be a deficit going into that mid game, and it's going to be a lineup that can take full advantage of the map. That's the scary part. What do the AA and the Enchantress offer you when your lanes are getting shoved in by a TA Naga that their interactions with are just pitiful? You have to make it up elsewhere. You're going to have to bring some skirmish power, maybe some early chrono rotations from Yatoro that we've seen him pop off on. Maybe get this coil rocking with an AA ult. You can find the levels on Miposhka.
Is it really better for him to be here in this lane against the Leshrac?
I mean, yeah, we saw what happened bottom. You just can't fight Zai right now.
You know, speaking of fighting Zai, actually going back through his history, I was wrong. It wasn't Team Secret 2018. I was like, wait a minute, that's way earlier. That's going all the way back to Optic. I don't suppose there's a little bit of deja vu for you, Avery.
What?
Last time, not actually the second to last time that Zai played Naga Siren, it was at TI, and it was against you.
Oh, wow.
Optic Gaming versus VGJ Storm. So you can actually give me first-hand experience. What does...
Did I win that game?
You did, actually.
Nice.
You played Jakiro.
I don't remember it. I'm sure he popped off.
Catching Collapse, they left him alone in the safe lane. The lane swap maybe not working out for Team Spirit the way they intended.
He can't stand on here. The rotations through the gate with this IO are
look at this
mass
mass rotation onto Nisha, though. They have to get this one. They are losing way too much in their side lanes. They need to be able to punish Nisha, but Boxi is here, and he's going to help them out a little bit. Another round of refraction going up to quickly break the coil. iNSaNiA is going to join in too. The heals are going off. Larl, he needs to deliver the last bit of damage before the heals can do enough. Nisha, another win. No, the orb doesn't land. Oh, now a waiting rift. It's still not enough. Nisha survives, and it's Larl who dies. Oh, no. They needed that kill so badly, but somehow Nisha versus Larl, the difference is made underneath the tier 2 tower.
Sometimes the best juke is no juke, because I think he just got in his head with that one. Nobody in their right mind would expect Nisha to just run in a straight line.
Yep.
I think Larl juked himself a little bit.
He really did.
As some early series pressure, perhaps.
Yeah, the pressure of a finals. Larl, this is his first time experiencing that kind of pressure. The rest of Team Spirit, obviously, very equipped to be able to handle this. They did it in the biggest prize pool in Dota's history.
mean, we should say the heals were significant there. Yatoro will make his presence felt with a Chronosphere and should collect the kill on miCKe. That's a streak kill, 4x, almost 800 gold.
Jesus, how is an early kill like this worth so much?
I mean, because they're up in a lot of net worth early on, and that's why that TA kill would have been just as valuable here. These are the big core kills you need to find with your ults if Team Spirit to get back in this game and slow the pace down, because you already have this level 6 on iNSaNiA off of all that survivability. It's one of the reasons Nisha lives here. The support's doing their job and doing it damn well. And now you already have reload up to make some aggressive plays of your own. You just logged him on the tree, I think, too. Just a nice little sidestep from Nisha.
Another stick, 8 HP is what he ended on there.
And strength treads plus a belt, early itemization. Also, so many little things go into a play like that you can swing so much momentum in this game. Larl looking to recover now. That was a kill he desperately needed.
Oh, and collapse. Speaking of deja vu,
yeah,
collapse dies in literally the same spot he died last time.
No early Vanguard in this Timber just leaves him super susceptible with only 2 points in the reactive. Zai has set up shop bottom, and there's nobody that can kick him out. And meanwhile, Liquid are happy to bring in reinforcements with that reload. However, Deja Vu straight back the top into the clutches of Yatoro.
Cookie is going to be given over. miCKe needs to run away from Yatoro, get away from that damage, but Yatoro, he pounces forward, gets the bash required to claim the kill. A good trade-off, but if they lose more supports, it could be bad.
Nice
Larl's going to come in, though, and they've got collapse with the song. It goes off in time, and Zai will allow his team an opportunity to be able to get away. Team Spirit's still going to chase a bit, though.
Yeah, they have another time dilation and a leap up. If they can catch up to the Naga just so damn fast, Collapse will kill Boxi on the backside. And there's a Troll Summoner coming in with the flank.
He's going to pop the illusions, try and dodge away from the Chakram, but Team Spirit, they are relentless. They got Boxi. They won Zai. He's been having way too much of a free game here. The miCKe's going to come back into this one. He teleports back into play here, and now they're going to look for the kill onto Collapse. Once again, the aggression from Team Spirit is going to result in potential turnaround, but he gets away with the Timber Chain, and miCKe dies instead.
A third death for this Leshrac that was snowballing the lane as Team Spirit strike back, and they are still looking for Zai. Somehow this skirmish got so damn extended, the Leshrac dies twice before you get the Naga once. Just so damn fast with the tether.
And the entire time, they're getting damage on the tower, too, so
yeah,
Team Spirit.
That troll did work.
That was fantastic. They are likely to get this safe flame tower, or at least bring it incredibly low.
This team is just so scary from behind. I've rarely seen it in so many iterations of Dota, but they just power up. They find these big core openings, and it starts with the ultimates. It starts with Yatoro making rotations and getting involved in the game when his team needs them. Just baits Liquid into a top sort of fight where this Faceless Void does work with the early dilation point. Collapse also picking off a solo kill on the backside boosts his XP, and the fact he gets out of here on the second attempt by miCKe just feels great for Team Spirit. Gotta remember that also went back to a 3-man AA blast from Miposhka at the start of that.
Yeah.
This AA can do some serious damage and negate a lot of the EHP out of the IO Lesh, so it's something that you have to think about if you're Liquid. Remove the supports from the fight, and suddenly your Leshrac just powers up infinitely here.
Now, sadly for Team Spirit, it was a great fight. Killing miCKe twice is a great way to slow down Liquid's momentum. Unfortunately, Nisha has been quietly farming that entire time, and that's why the net worth really didn't change that all that much. And we've seen Nisha's TA pop off in these playoff series. It's been something that has become, I think, something the Liquid needs to rely on, is Nisha being able to win his lane with the Templar Assassin and then just keep farming and get really, really big.
I mean, it's him and the Naga. I mean, Zai is the most farmed hero in this game by a long shot. 5-0 and 0 start for an offlane Naga is the dream, as he's just going to rush an Orchid here. This Manta is so damn fast. He's going to have a second item Orchid unless Yatoro
Ice Blast, but there is going to be kisses. Is this going to scare away Yatoro? He's going to commit. He commits for the kill on his eye, but he doesn't get it. And I don't think the Ice Blast is going to take him out. Oh, it does. On the last 2 ticks, it's enough. And an unstoppable streak taken away.
I guess Team Spirit are happy with that exchange. They get the 2-for-1. They get this Naga with the streak. A lot of gold and XP into Miposhka there.
Yeah, what is Miposhka going to do with all of that? 1,700
he's
gold?
So big now. All of a sudden, he's level 9, and he's higher level than Collapse. That's like, all right. I thought I was the 3. Chill out. Give me some XP here. And that item, I mean, he has 1,800 gold. You can buy a pretty big item on the AA here.
I mean, you are a 5 position. What would you grab here?
I don't even think fast shard is bad. This shard on the Ancient Apparition is a real game changer in the fights. The extra lockdown here, Miposhka's been able to land these blasts. It's a big deal. You can chain the cold feeds off it as well. This is a level 3 cold feed, level 4 vortex. Cannot underestimate the spell amp coming in with double cold feed hitting on a hero. I would not mind shard, I would not mind Glimmer Cape. You could even go a pipe if you really feel like you can get to it here. It's gonna be nice for your cores. Again, these are 3 damage dealing cores for Team Spirit. You're not gonna have the big auras here. And suddenly the net worth for these 2 Team Spirit supports that I was worried about in this game playing into Naga and TA, not looking too bad, as they've been able to push out these lanes and find the big chrono exchanges. Yatoro, this guy is just so good at making sure his team stays in the game, not only himself. It's one of the things that makes him one of the scariest carry players right now.
Yeah.
He will always find farm, but he will make sure his team is getting up there with him.
Yes. Nisha has had the luxury of just being able to AFK during a lot of these fights, while Yatoro has been forced to join the fights and turn them around. Song actually going to be used here for the setup. Let's see if they can land a split earth onto 2 heroes here. They're going to go for the puck and Mira's Enchantress. They only are going to get the Enchantress, of course. Phase shift, just too good of a dodge for Larl, but decent commitment by Liquid in exchange for an Enchantress. I feel like Team Spirit's not too broken up about that.
I mean, they're also going to force Spirit back here with all the lanes getting shoved in outside of the bottom one, and they're going to make them show. And this is also an incredibly strong power spike for Liquid, as they have the Blink Shard on Nisha completed on top of the Mech IO with the Bloodstone Lesh. So much healing going into this IO Lesh. Now you can counteract it with that AO.
Oh, but he got the shard pickup. He goes for the puck kill, silence. And the kisses. They lands. The final one is there, and it kills Miposhka too. So Nisha pick up that Blink Dagger. He farmed to a shard, bought it, immediately got big effectiveness out of it.
This is where the map can collapse so fast for Team Spirit if you start to give up these kills. You have the reload threat coming in on top of Naga Illusions with an Orchid coming out soon, on top of a TA that can silence any of your cores that have no Dispel right now. This is a very tough next 10 minutes to get through if you're Team Spirit. You really have to play the map well and babysit some heroes, maybe bait some goes out from Liquid and try and turn it around with your Chronospheres, because that's the one part that's working for you here. Yatoro he's finding some big openings. As Orchid is done.
Oh man, that is a fast Orchid. Yatoro is very dead.
This game pace is incredibly fast from Liquid right now. 8K gold lead at 16 minutes. They have threat on everybody in this game right now.
And Nisha's delivering more solo kills. Tries to use the TA trap, Naga. Deny again.
Oh, ran in, did not expect them to be.
He's going to be bailed out though. They don't have an Ice Blast, so iNSaNiA comes in with very clutch heals. They hit a Split Earth and lots of silences on Collapse. And you said the pace is picking up for Liquid. They also have a way to very quickly do Roshan off of these fight wins with a Templar Assassin. So
that's the beauty of this TA pick. It's a classic combination with this Naga going back forever. You control the map, you shut the waves in, you get a pick off, and instantly you're taking objectives. This TA gives you the single target physical burst firepower that sometimes Naga lacks, especially as you go into these mid-late game fights. Liquid are going to have it all here. This is a lineup that can offer you damage in terms of the magical, the physical, the utility, the lock. I mean, it can do it all. And top of that, you have the healing. If you dodge out that A blast, suddenly the healing becomes a problem like we saw there. Team fights are going to become pivotal for Spirit as they want to push this into the late game here. And maybe some ratting action. Like, you have this puck, you have this timber. If you can get them to some dispels, suddenly the Orchid's not as effective. Maybe the reload isn't as scary. You can start to push this waves back into Liquid a bit deeper. There's still 2 tier 1s up to claim for Team Spirit if they get to a point where they can play more aggressive here. That's the dream as the lead continues to build for Liquid in this game 1, looking very similar to that game 1 in the upper bracket finals.
It's not the most farm efficient play I've ever seen in my life. Toro takes a quick 4-second timeout. A little bit of breather, and maybe that's what they need. Liquid up with 10,000 net worth like this. Team Spirit are going to have to really, I mean, one of the things we've always talked about when it comes to Team Spirit is they're great at being able to put together team fights. And almost kind of no matter what the advantage is for Liquid, Chronosphere Ice Blast, if you throw in some extra damage on that from like Larl or Mira, it's probably enough to be able to win the start of the fight.
It's definitely enough to take down a big core, and that's kind of all you need. You just need a big core to create an opening. You can't even underestimate just Ice Vortex Cold Feet within the Chronosphere. Faces Void's a composite hero. He does a lot of damage between the time locks and the Maelstrom procs with a Mask of Madness here. You might not need to throw in this blast on the first target
Jesus.
Either. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Okay. Collapse just died to a Templar Assassin solo. Granted, he had a double damage, but that's not a great sign.
Neither is Larl getting picked off solo by Zai here. as the pickoff route continues. And the items just came out so damn fast for Liquid. Team Spirit not able to respond, as it'll be a quick Roshan off the back of that double damage. Level 17 for Nisha. He has been absolutely unstoppable, and he is 4 levels higher than the next core on Team Spirit, which would be Yatoro. This man is the leader of the tournament for a reason, and it's another great TA game with a very strong counter pick. It has not been slowed down at all. Put an Aegis on the man. Could even be looking at some early high ground here if you believe the song can bail out the Chrono. I mean, you have a lot of sustain. You have a Solar Crest on Boxi. There's a lot you can pump into Nisha and just let him frontline with this Aegis that's pretty annoying to deal with. It's gonna for sure bring everybody back, and Team Liquid want to commit for that. Also, Tormentors just spawned, so Nisha's gonna pretty much try and steal this instantly here as Zai sets up on the other side of the map. And he will find Yatoro with a
great
song.
catch.
No Dispel for the Orchid here. He is absolutely gone. Only question is, will the Golem take the kill?
No. Not a chance with Zai outputting so much damage. I love they relocate in as well to make sure that there's no backup from Team Spirit. Mira's playing desperately to try and snatch away. Oh, okay. Cookie a little bit late there. Wonder if it was on cooldown. Either way, chase away Mira, get a kill on Yatoro. Liquid, they are cruising through this game 1, man. This has got to be a bit of a sigh of relief for them to be able to show, okay, we can still beat Team Spirit after they got taken down to the upper bracket finals the way they did. I mean, especially that game 3. That was, I mean, I think you said it. I think maybe Seb said it as well. Like, one of the most well-executed games of the entire tournament was that game 3 by Team Spirit.
That is definitely Team Spirit at their peak. That is what they won out of a game. It was pretty much a perfectly executed game in Dota 2. You cannot ask for anything better. As this one, I mean, it's pretty close. Like, Liquid have not made too many mistakes in this game, and they're executing this lineup pretty damn well. And this is just what it looks like off a triple lane win, which we kind of expected from the draft. So you put yourself in this position, you got to be ready to dig yourself out of it. Team Spirit continuing to search for an answer in this game. They do have a Dispel on Collapse with the Lotus, and they're going Yules on Larl for a second one.
Dude, Nisha's so ruthless. He's just like, no, you're not going to get all of these creeps. I'll deny 1 or 2.
I mean, he knows how strong he is. It's very difficult to commit on him twice here. They're just going to dodge him. Yules is finished for Larl, so you have Dispel on 2 cores now. If you get to the Manta on Yatoro, then in theory you have 3 defensive items that will help you combat the Orchid Net here and the TA Trap Silence. And I think at that point you have to try and take a fight. You're not going to outfarm Liquid with this type of lineup. TA Naga, Leshrac on top of it. They're just going to cruise through waves and camps on the map right now.
Immediate smoke up. They show Nisha in the mid lane while Zai sets it up, heading to top lane. He finds anybody, he can song for it, have his team come in, and that's exactly what happens. They spot Yatoro, immediately the song, and then he's going to be able to Orchid, and Yatoro is going to find that his Manta is delayed even further.
Meanwhile, they're still fighting on the other side. I mean, this is a coil on Nisha. His team is not here.
And he's just like, I dare you. I dare you to go on me. Kiss is going to be used. If he hits one of them on Larl, he'd get the kill, but it's pretty blind. Not going to be able to land that. He does slow down the Ancient Apparition. Meanwhile, mid lane with the Orchid usage, they go for Collapse. Bounce back that one, but with Nisha's damage, they may still have the kill on side. One last Timber Chain. No, that shot almost killed him, but fortunately he had enough armor built up by that point. Liquid, though, just continuing, giving Team Spirit absolutely no room to breathe, no time to farm up those defensive items you're talking about.
No time to think about what went wrong in this game as they are down 20k at 23 minutes. Getting their base siege with the first Aegis, and the scary part is there's still so much scale left in the tank for Liquid. You have 3 cores that can get 6 slotted this game and all be a threat, especially to this Faceless Void. This is a difficult way to start the series here, as Liquid have come to play, come to win. They're striking very fast out the gate.
Well, you've got another 45 seconds with the Aegis. Nisha's going to make the most of it. Take yet another tier 2. Presumably, they're going to wait it out until they get to that second Roshan, and that'll probably be the high ground push. But we'll see. Team Liquid has been hyper-aggressive so far in this game. And we have seen more and more teams be willing to take up that mantle of pushing high ground without an Aegis if they can get that right kind of pick off.
I think your Spirit, you got to smoke Yatoro pretty soon. Like, you need to go out and look for a big core kill with this Chronosphere, slow this game down, get some extra network into the Faceless Void so we can get to the Manta style, because he is struggling to get there right now.
Yeah, use the Chrono in this window where you can use the Chrono, put it on cooldown, but the Aegis, you don't have to worry about the Roshan fight just yet.
Yes, because that's something you're going to have to think about this game. When you use that Chrono, it creates a large window where Liquid can just go and force objectives or force your base. It'll be a smoke behind Yatoro, so maybe trying to bait him out. I mean, these Naga illusions are just, they're seeing so much right now. They'll get stolen by Mira. That is one thing they have going for them. They can push the Naga back against herself. But Zai has read this move, and he is completely out of there. This is a smoke that's going to yield nothing but perhaps an aggressive observer.
Vacates the area, and that still leaves Team Liquid with owning probably 70% of the map. They're taking all of top.
I think this is a move you just have to make, though. You have 3 wards on Miposhka. You need to smoke him out here to get some vision on the map so you can maybe look for the pickoff in the future. The other side of the map is just fully trapped up, by the way. I mean, you see all these red dots on the minimap right now.
Yeah.
That is just free vision for Liquid off of Nisha with some perfect TA trap placement. There's just so damn many.
And it's a little bit too early to be carrying a gem around.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way you can buy gem. I mean, Miposhka could because he got so much gold in this game. It's just you can't even move there with the gem.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you may spot the traps and you may die anyway, lose that gem, and then you're in an even deeper hole.
And Templar Assassin is already pushing level 20 here. He will get it. It's an insane amount of experience Nisha's accumulated in this game.
Pipe done for the IO, but there was a nice item pickup there. Mira with the Hurricane Pike, that's going to help a lot in putting more damage inside that Chronosphere. So if Yatoro hits that big Chronosphere, combine it with the Ice Blast, combine it with Mira's pure damage, throw some Larl damage in there as well.
There's definitely a lot you can throw in here.
There's always a chance, I guess.
And this Hurricane Pike is decent versus the TA in the Lesh too. Like they blink in, you pike them back out.
There's always a chance unless Zai literally rats you with illusions and you lose to that.
This is definitely some revenge for that game 1-2 where the Yatoro Naga ratted them out for 40, 50 minutes here and made that game spicy.
That's true.
This time Liquid say, we can do it too. And
turn the pain
off laner.
Right back around them. Man, that TA shard. Even Boxi is a threat to Larl when you just add one trap to the mix. Immediately a smoke out because they see heroes in the bottom lane, so they figure if they can make a fast enough move here towards top, get these kills quickly before the relocate comes into play.
This one might land if Liquid try and go on Yatoro. He's just so aggressive, they know there's some sort of smoke behind him here.
He might be able to catch Boxi. It'd help if he got a bash here. Time dilation, they're going to use the coil. I mean, they need as many kills as they can get. All of these kills are worth.
It will get a glyph out from Spirit. They did not even wait to see this edict hit their buildings. Very quick and decisive move from Liquid. You can't even chrono anybody here because this reload will guarantee take you out.
Yeah, this is so smart because if they relocated to where Boxi's at, they probably just get Chronosphere.
Yes.
Right? So they instead make a better move, just outmaneuver Team Spirit. They go for the mid lane. They take that tier 3. Range barracks still up, but Yatoro, if he dies here, oh, jeez, that damage is just so damn fast.
I mean, that's with his Dispel, too. They're just saving the silences.
Oh, more silences. Dude, Nisha is putting on...
Oh, he's getting out.
Quite a masterclass of an early shard pickup with this TA trap. Meanwhile, he's still trying to get out on collapse while, Zai's trying to set up. He's like, guys, I've caught so many heroes. Come over here. And Nisha will oblige. They'll get the kill onto Mira as well. So 3 dead on the side of Team Spirit. Now they can go and finish up that range barracks. They started earlier and take a melee on top of it.
And no glyph because of that little reload play you made before. So 15 seconds for Yatoro to come back up. He does have Chrono off cooldown, does have that Manta. You get a good fight on these cores before they leave your base. That's what you're looking for here. No song as well, so that Chrono's absolutely free. Liquid might just back off. I don't think a second Rax makes this game impossible, whereas Roshan might. You just play for that next Aegis. You're super content. Boxi even looking for a Wisdom Rune. Yatoro says, enough is enough, sir. You have gotten enough experience in this game. How dare you assume you will take my Wisdom Rune?
Well, that does put Chronosphere on cooldown with the potential of Roche being up right now. It's not actually going to be up for another minute, but as soon as it spawns, I'm sure Liquid is immediately going to pounce on it because they do have TA traps to scout it out.
And
not that they're in the pit right now.
Basically ensures that fight.
Yeah.
Did get a gem pickup on Team Spirit. It has been put on Larl, so you can start to clear out some of these traps. Going to take a damn long time here.
There's so
But
many.
eventually, it will add up. You can get on the map. You wait for your chrono to come back up. That is all you're relying on at this point. Big chrono series from Yatoro. Pour the damage in.
Yatoro might get caught again here. Time walk away, and he's still got a Manta. But it's Zai who's really the big threat. Hits him with the Orchid. Waiting out the Manta. Finally throws out the iNSaNiA at the same time as the Splitter, so they land both and chain it very nicely.
It's just so hard to dodge these silences on the map. A single Dispel is not close to enough here, as Zai playing with his food at this point.
Yeah, when you run out these lanes, it's just an alleyway of death with all the TA trap silences available.
As Naga has been near untouchable. They found her once and never again, as 12-1 Butterfly completed, looking for a Hex. Hurricane Pike gonna deal some serious damage to miCKe. Gotta respect the impetuses here on the high ground push. Double damage for Nisha. Makes swift work of this Rax, as it'll just die to illusions. Collapse denies it though.
It's the small little victories, I suppose, Avery.
Nobody takes anything free from us, is the message here.
Are they gonna fight this? Or are they just gonna go back to play for Roshan? Looks like it's the latter choice for Team Liquid. So
they got nothing.
Yeah, if you want to say denied melee barracks, it's nothing.
Liquid pushed your base and Collapse got a Rax. That sounds pretty good to me. You know,
Damn.
a moral victory for sure here in Spirit as they try and rally the troops.
You need to rally a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, you'll take what you can get in this game down 30K at 30 minutes.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean,
it is just exploded in terms of the advantage here.
Yeah, he went the Manta, which took a while
levels
to be able to get that Manta to counter the Orchid. He's got this window where it's like, okay, the Manta can kind of deal with the Orchid, that's nice, but then you're going to have a sight device soon on Zai. So he is just maintaining a huge lead over this Faceless Void and keeping Yatoro's game near impossible, and he's always the win condition for Team Spirit.
Where was the deny on that one, Collapse?
That's true. He had the Chakra Mount, who's disarmed himself.
You only have a couple moments to seize these advantages, as it'll be a smoke play to the Roche pit. This is pretty sneaky from Team Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of have to make a big play like this.
They got scanned, man.
Oh,
Absolutely nothing is going their way, as Liquid fully ready for this now. They'll smoke up themselves.
They're like, oh, you're going to do Roshan, huh?
Just run.
You do Roshan. Well, we'll take your melee barracks. We'll take Megas.
Yeah, Zai is ratting you the whole time. It's just put Collapse on illusion duty. He has to clean up the trash while the rest of his team fights for their lives. He does not have a bots, by the way, so he can buy out for it and maybe join this fight. Off that, he can also just TP Radiant Outpost, I suppose. It's just going to be so damn slow.
Yeah, and lacking your frontliner when it comes to the damage being put out by Nisha. Anybody shows they could get two-shot. The potential is there, and there's the silence. Miposhka, one hit, brings him down to half. Now the Kiss is trying to get the vision, trying to get the slowdown. Hits Miposhka once or twice, almost enough for the kill. That final one might just do it. He's going to take out miCKe. Meanwhile, Field Scepter put onto Larl. He does have a phase shift, but immediately silenced once again by the TA traps. They're just... It's the TA traps nonstop, man.
And they're just reloading to the base again.
Oh, he's broken. Mira's going to be shredded immediately. They have to throw out the Chronosphere. Otherwise, they're going to get barracks. miCKe does get off his BKB, and a song goes out.
The sleep will put an end to what looked like a turnaround potential for Team Spirit, as now they have to fight it out with no ultimates.
A Coil desperately trying to keep Team Liquid out of their base, desperately hoping to somehow turn around an impossible team fight, but it will never happen. 4 dead on the side of Team Spirit. A buyback from Yatoro immediately, but he comes back with no Chronosphere, comes back with no chance of defending his final barracks and no chance of winning this game 1. Team Liquid, who got stomped out of the upper bracket final.